Good afternoon and welcome to Audiotree Live. Today is Thursday, March 5th, 2015, and we're honored to have with us Silent Planet. Audiotree Live with Silent Planet. You guys, thanks so much for coming out and hanging out with us for sure. The Night God Slept is an amazing record. Our resident heavy boy, who is our graphic designer, Austin Isaac Peters, definitely approves. So you can chat with him about that later. But I'm curious if you guys followed the Oscars or if you watch anything, if you were happy about what won or lost. I was really bad about it. I only watched Big Hero 6. That's the only one of any of them. Anybody? Movie fans? Or
Did
Oscar
Kanye
guys?
West interrupt that one? Was that a difference?
No, he almost
Oh, he definitely.
went up to the stage and then kind of went back.
And then he like walked right out of
he's
it
like,
right as he
Like,
walked
what are you
up.
doing at the Oscars? He's like, I don't know.
He's like, I thought I'd just interrupt whatever I wanted to interrupt. They do a really good, in the SNL 40 special, there's a really good Wayne's World skit where like they talk about how Beck hosted SNL better than Beyonce hosted it, and Kanye is in actual, like, he's in the audience and he fakes to come up.
That's funny.
No, I don't think.
Which one is movies and which one's music? Is the Grammys
Oscars is movies.
Oscars is movies.
That's correct. Yes, and they always get an award. Like a big heavy something that they can carry around, a gramophone, or like a big guy. And they did. I watched because of that Lego movie. They handed out all these Lego versions of that big man, that like strong man guys everyone
I believe
held on to.
the song from Lego Movie won an award too.
Yeah, dude. And did you see it, or did you see any clips of that performance?
No, I just saw the everything.
What are you
is
guys
awesome.
talking
Yeah, everything is awesome.
Did James Franco and Seth Rogen get Best Kiss?
Oh, I hope so.
Because that would be cool.
I'm not sure if they do awards like that. They should.
Best romance scene.
Best romance between the two of them.
Romance, yeah.
Thanks you guys a lot for coming out. Why don't you go into your next song?
Subsequently cast the straight edge of Mars, the waves. Beats our hammers and shovels, and eager proper game for our sons. So the end of God wasteland.
Audiotree Live with Silent Planet. So when you're going on tour and you're going through like, cold places, warm places, awful places, cool places. I'm curious about how you pack. Like, is there an article of clothing that you always bring regardless of where you're going, or anybody like, I don't know, do you pack light? Backpack or like a were those duffel bags that you were throwing in and out? Were those all clothes?
No, those are just body bags that we carry our merch in.
Okay, yeah, to have extra
Yeah.
space or whatever.
I would say recently, thermal underwear
Okay, yeah.
has become my new go-to.
Do you
especially-
perform in them, or do you take them up before you go?
I'm wearing them right now.
Okay, yeah, the performance right now.
As am I.
Me too.
Yes.
I don't like to. It gets too warm.
That's me too, dude. I'm perpetually sweaty all the time, and so I could not wear those. I would get gross like instantly. What about footwear? I mean, he's not even sporting any right now.
I brought
because
shoes on this tour.
which you've forgotten before?
Yeah, I've just not had shoes for tours.
Whoa.
He just doesn't
Yeah.
wear them.
But
Are
I
you?
brought shoes on this tour.
Do you have pretty strong feet then after not wearing them for so long?
Tarzan
Something.
feet.
Something like that.
Like calloused feet.
Dang. That's like, yeah, hobbit foot or
I've
whatever.
seen him run through like a field of whatever's in that field, and he's fine.
Dang.
I could not do that.
Yeah.
I could barely walk on rocks or pebbles.
Yeah. I felt like when I was a kid, like, every summer I would hardly wear shoes at all. But I don't know. I think my feet are too tender now. Is that after years of actually just not wearing shoes
Yeah,
very often?
Yeah. You just kind of build it up
Yeah.
after a while.
But don't they get freezing cold or no? It's not that
too
much
bad.
for
In the
worry.
snow, maybe. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't go through like
Hopefully
knee-deep
not.
snow barefoot or something. You guys can go into your next song if you're tuned up and ready.
You'd be choking on your pain. I saw without a name, making you all the ways. Forever will swallow us alive. We'll be extracted from time
Silent Planet on Audiotree Live. The very first summer that I played Ultimate Frisbee in Chicago, I didn't wear shoes because I had been playing in Iowa City before and there's beautiful grass there, not just dirt everywhere. And I totally like motorcycle accidented the bottom of both of my feet, like all of the skin, not gone, but you know, like basically shredded up. So I need to follow your routine if I want to try that again. Now I wear cleats. You guys can go into your next song when you're ready.
I'll climb through your sky and bleed out the image you left in me. But God, are you alive? You say that you simply haven't. Looking down on my house. Back.
Silent Planet on Audiotree Live. So you guys have toured with a bunch of really awesome bands, and you're touring with Norma Jean right now. I'm curious if you get to sit down ever and kind of talk to them about decisions they've made as a band, you know, get advice from them or anything like that. Like, do you get those chances?
Always.
Do you? Okay, cool.
You gotta look for them though.
Yeah.
You gotta kind of follow them around sometimes.
Yeah.
Just be friendly and be honest and ask them, like, you know, if whatever you want to know, just ask them.
Yeah. And do they tend to, I mean, does it tend to lead to, I don't know, good conversations?
For the most part, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Always.
The big daddies know everything.
Yeah, seriously though, they've been doing it for so long.
Yeah. Well, we actually, the Norma Jean tour we haven't started just yet. We have routing shirts to it. But Norma Jean is actually one of those bands that we all look up to and obviously have been listening to.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's been, I think a few days ago, it's been 10 years since they released one of the records that I used to listen to for, you know,
Cool.
since my childhood and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. But we have lots of great advice from some super cool bands that really help us, you know, make the right decisions and kind of, you know, look for what we should be cautious for and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So, yeah.
How do you guys go about making decisions as a band? I mean, do you, like, is it majority rule on things, even simple things like what songs you're going to play that night, or, you know?
Yeah, just talk about it, you know. We're humans.
Yeah.
We have this gift to be able to speak. So
Of communication.
no
yeah.
one's like a hierarchy, like, we're doing this.
Sure.
You know, so
Yeah.
an opportunity comes up, or, you know, what we want to play, we just sit down and talk about it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think that helps when bands are open like that. It definitely helps not only make the right decision, but also it builds like a more quality performance and more quality music, I think, when there's mutuality or whatever within the band, you know.
Agreed.
You guys can go into your next song.
Je suis un mec
Now the world was a dream I couldn't shake, and a midnight reverie of which I'll never wake. It started mundane enough, with an incessant tapping on the window pane, separating me from the storm. Inside I sat, me the lonesome fool, with my head cocked sideways in confusion, as my looking glass became a two-way mirror, and you could watch me hide from everything on this living sphere. Don't you dare darken my doorstep, stranger, never a step more. Oh no, never more. You see, I have this reoccurring dream where we snuck past scores of slumbering guards and fixed that rustic iron key, that lock to set you free. And I would bring you liberty, where in reality I'm a coward. I'm collateral matter, swayed by the banalities of time and space. I'm a name without a face. My trepidation reached threshold, and my terror turned madness. When I awoke, I was swinging shrouded silhouettes, and I stumbled out the door, and my anger was extinguished by this downpour. Compelled, void of volition, my steps propelled me through this chronic storm. We're there in the clearing, through the gaps in the trees. Dark smoke flickered from fire, illuminating my unease. Like clockwork, seven sisters turned together in a circle. Autonomy abandoned, they moved singular and perpetual. Round the dark blue flame, where I heard you call my name. 'Cause I am the fire that is never quenched, and I am the river that will not run dry. When I slept in that garden, Lord, did you see me as I was dreaming? This is the end of everything. Lose our divisions, forget our names. Precipice, eternity.
Audiotree Live with Silent Planet. That was the sixth one, right? Was that the last? Okay, cool. Yeah. They are on tour, or they will be on tour with Norma Jean for the Fallen Dreams, and what's the other band?
Sirens and Sailors.
Okay, Sirens and Sailors, that's right. All the way through the end of March, so you can check them out and get the record, The Night God Slept, and take the time to look at the citations and follow those where they'll take you. Thank you guys very much for performing for us.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks to Dictator, thanks to Goose Island, thanks to awesome people in the studio and sound engineers, camera and lighting crew hooking it up, and viewers. Thanks for watching. Support the band by downloading the session when it comes out in a few weeks, and send a shout via social media to us or the band if you just want to connect. From all of us here at the Audiotree Studios, thanks for tuning in. Goodbye.